Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Musleh Khan, and we are at part 6 for a Ramadan superstar. Today I want to actually talk to you about family, reconnecting with your brothers and your sisters, your siblings, your parents, your spouses, your children, everybody. How do you do that? And especially in the month of Ramadan. Now I'll tell you why I chose this particular point to discuss. In the Quran, in Surat-ul Baqarah, Allah Azza wa Jal in verse number 187 says, "Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahun." She is a garment for you and you are a garment for her. Now this verse, you guys all have heard it many times. It's a verse that a lot of scholars they've talked about. What's interesting is the context of this verse. If you notice that this verse, the only time Allah Azza wa Jal mentions something so close and so intimate between a husband and wife is only in Surat-ul Baqarah. Nowhere else in the Quran does Allah Azza wa Jal use a phrase like this, that you are garments for one another. Naturally, what that leads to is that if you understand this verse, you understand how to implement it, you automatically are starting to build your family relationship. It starts with your spouse, then it filtrates to your children, to your parents, and so on. What's interesting is that in Surat-ul Baqarah, there is also a series of verses that are talking about Ramadan. Scholars, they say, if you want to know everything there is to know about Ramadan, go to Surat-ul Baqarah. And you guys have all heard the verses before. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, kutiba alaykumus siyam. Siyam has prescribed upon you, and so on until the verse ends. Those verses tell you everything you need to know about Ramadan, from the hukum, the ruling, to the fiqh, to the purpose, and so on. Now put these 2 points together. You have a particular verse that's talking about the closeness of a husband and wife, and it's only mentioned in Surat-ul Baqarah in that manner. Then you also have all the things that you need to know about the month of Ramadan also mentioned in Surat-ul Baqarah. What this tells you is that if you put it together, there's a context benefit when it comes to these verses. It is in the month of Ramadan where you stand the best chances to working out your family problems and your family politics. It's in this particular month where you can really sit down with your spouse and try to work things out. Sit down with your siblings, sit down with your parents and your family. Whatever family politics you guys have with each other, this is the time for you guys to try to work those things out. So if you're listening to this and you have family members that you haven't spoke to, or you don't have a relationship with them, Allah Azza wa Jal is clearly telling you and I, this is the month that you want to take advantage of that. It's the time when everybody is on a spiritual high. Take advantage of it. It's the time when everybody's going to the masjid and you're seeing one another. You don't want to create an uncomfortable situation. You're seeing a family member that you haven't talked to for 20 years, and then before you know it, you're just walking by in the masjid and it's so uncomfortable. This is the time to fix all those things. This is the time to make your relationship with your spouse better, more pleasing not only to each other but to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So really and truly, if you want to be part of that whole Ramadan superstar image, that whole Ramadan superstar life, try to work on the family inshallah as best as you can and sort out those issues inshallah in this month. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for all of you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.